Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Arafat from FEI Higher Secondary Institute. Today I am with chapter number 4. Chapter is Heredity and Genetics. It is 10th class biology. And in this chapter, my topic is inheritance of human blood groups and sex डिटर्मिनेशन इन चाइल्ड। आज मेरे दो टॉपिक्स इसमें रहेंगे आज के लेक्चर में। लेट अस वी डिस्कस द इनहेरिटेंस ऑफ ह्यूमन ब्लड ग्रुप्स। जो ह्यूमन ब्लड ग्रुप्स है, ह्यूमन ब्लड ग्रुप जो है, ये इनहेरिटेंस कैरेक्टर्स है। इनहेरिटेंस कैरेक्टर है। It is an inheritance character. What do you mean by inheritance character? This is a character which we get from the parents. This character passes from the parents to the offspring, and their expression takes place in the offspring, where there is the flow of genes from parents to the offspring. After there is a random recombination of the gametes, and those gametes contain genes, and we have also a sex chromosome. Sex chromosome contain genes. They express different characters. This is one of the character. This sex जो chromosome है, they determine the sex in a child, and this human human groups, it is also characters which we get from the parents. इनको हम कहते हैं, इनको आगे हमारा ये क्वेश्चन भी आ रहा है, inheritance character that we get from the parent to the inheritance character, or which get from parents to the offspring. It is also known as the inheritance trait. Then this is I can say this is the inheritance character which we get from parents. And you know the human blood groups are of it is of 4 types: blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, and blood group O. And each human blood group is blood group A, it is one of the character, and blood group B, blood group AB, blood group O, these are the characters, genetic characters, where there is a transmission from its parents to the offspring. It is the concept of heredity, inheritance of transmission of characters from parents to the offspring. Then after in offspring there is the expression. One of the example is of the blood group inheritance. Here in human beings we have 4 types of blood groups. 4 types blood groups. 4 types of blood groups. We have 4 types of blood groups. I will here right here the 4 types of blood groups. Here we have I will mention it here, and each blood group is maintained by a pair of factors, pair of alleles, a pair of gene, we can say. Here I will tell you in this chart. Here is the blood group. This is I can say that this is a blood group A. That here I will blood groups. Here blood groups here, and the genotype, that means genes associated to maintain the blood group. Genotype genes associated to maintain this blood group. We have 4 types of blood groups. Already I tell you that they have the gene, they are maintained at least a pair of genes to maintain a blood group. Here the blood group A, we have blood group A. Then we have, I will tell you here with the chart, I have blood group B, then I have a blood group blood group AB, then I have a blood group O. Then I can say that in humans there are four major types of blood groups, that blood group A, blood group B, AB and O. They have at least a pair of gene which maintain. आपने पढ़ा होगा, इससे पहले भी मैंने बताया, जितने भी inheritance character है, all the inheritance characters are maintained by at least a pair of genes, pair of alleles. Here this blood group A is maintained by a pair of gene, that is, here is the possibility of two types of genotype, that is, it is maintained by this allele A, capital IA, or we can say capital IA. This is a pair of gene, pair of allele which maintain the blood group A. Blood group A is maintained by a pair of allele, that is capital II and superscript form में मैंने capital A लिखा है. This is a pair of gene. It is for the maintenance of the blood group A and the expression of blood group A in humans. Or if it is not there, there can be also the another type of gene pair, that there can be also to maintain a blood group A, there is also possibility of this pair of allele, capital I and superscript form of A and just small I. Here this is the small I. This also maintain. Here what is the difference between this pair of allele and this pair of alleles? This pair of alleles have dominant, they are the dominant genus. Both are the dominant genus. Here in this only this one is dominant gene, this one is dominant allele, this is the recessive allele. But there is, according to the Mendel law of dominance, always the dominant gene has its inheritance expression, that this pair of gene will maintain the blood group A. There is a possibility. अब genotype क्या है blood group A के लिए? This capital A superscript form में capital A and this capital I, small I. Small I is the small I and small I. This is the another pair of gene which maintains the blood group A. Now in human beings there is also a blood group B, and blood group B is maintained by a pair of gene, pair of allele, that is capital I, superscript form capital B I. This pair of factors, this pair of alleles for the blood group B, and this pair of factors. This is the genotype for blood group B, and there is also the possibility here the same capital IB and I small I. What is small I? It is a recessive gene. It maintains the recessive character. Here blood group B is maintained by two types of genotype. Here this pair of genes are this capital I, both are capital I, both are the dominant genes, and another, it will also maintain the blood group B settle, and there is a dominant gene and there is a recessive gene. Settle, there is a maintenance. अगर ये होगा, ये pair होगा, this pair of allele, this pair of factor, settle, there would be a blood group A, blood group B. If there is this pair of allele, this pair of factor here, then there is also a probability of having a blood group B. Then AB, what is AB? Here in human beings there is also AB type of blood group A and blood group B, and there could be a possible genotype, that is IA, genotype IA, IB. Both the allele, these are this is the pair of allele, this is the pair of allele, pair of factor, pair of gene coho, and both are dominant. They have co-dominance. Both are dominant to each other. This is also that means hence it will also maintain its character, that is maintain the blood group A. This gene is also dominant. पूरा ध्यान दीजिए. This allele is also a dominant. It will also maintain the blood group B. Therefore blood group AB have both genes, both genes are the dominant in nature. That means AB blood group is maintained by this genotype. What genotype? That means capital I, and superscriptive form is A, capital A. This type of gene is for blood group A, and this type of gene is for blood group B. Now there is a O, blood group O in human beings, that it is maintained by a pair of factors, pair of alleles, and those pair of factors, pair of alleles are recessive in condition. Recessive in condition. यहाँ पे देखिए blood group A is maintained by this pair of factors, yeah, by this pair of alleles, but they are dominant. This is also dominant. Both the genes are dominant in this, and here both the genes are dominant, still they maintain the both types of blood group A, blood group A. But O is a blood group, human blood group O, blood group O. It is maintained by a pair of recessive genes, that is small I. मैंने बताया कि यहाँ पे small I, both are, this is maintained by small I. What is small I? It is a pair of genes, yeah, you can say pair of alleles. They are recessive in conditions, and there is a maintenance of blood group O. यहाँ पे वो all the four types of blood groups in human beings is maintained by different ways of genotype. This type of genotype, this type of genotype, this type of genotype, this type of genotype, this type of, and this type. And what there are the genotype combination? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 types of genotypes which can maintain the blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB, blood group O. यहाँ पे मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, जो यहाँ पे मैं इरेज करता हूँ, यहाँ पे जो ये है the allele, ये जो है ये डोमिनेंट है, डोमिनेंट ये जो या मैं बात करूंगा इसकी, both are the dominant genes, the dominant alleles को, और and then this small I, it is a recessive gene. recessive gene तब वो एक्सप्रेस कर सकता है जब इसके काउंटर पार्ट में अपना रिसेसिव जीन हो. यहाँ इसके काउंटर पार्ट में अपना रिसेसिव जीन है. Therefore there is a special there is another type of unique blood group, that is blood group O, maintenance of blood group O. And blood group O is always maintained by a pair of recessive alleles, that is here with this genotype, dominant gene is with recessive gene, and small I, and here's this type of dominant gene is associated with recessive type of dominant gene. Here, according to law of dominance, only this capital I and with superscript form of capital B give the formation of blood group B according to law of dominance. In this, here is the pair of recessive factors, pair of recessive genes will maintain the blood group O. That means in human beings there are four types of blood groups. असल में क्या होता है, जो जीनोटाइप होते हैं, जो जीनोटाइप्स होता है, अभी मैंने बताया जीनोटाइप्स जो होते हैं, या इस तरह का जो जीनोटाइप है, इस तरह का जीनोटाइप, they help in making the antigen. Antigen क्या होता है, ये molecule होता है. It is a molecule on the surface of which is on the surface of RBC cells. RBC cells के surface पे होते हैं antigen, and this antigen formation is because of a genotype. That means here is a genotype. अभी मैंने इसके बाद बताया, if this type of if here is genotype this, if there is a here is a pair of genotype this, and there is a formation of antigen a molecule which is on the surface of the RBC, and this antigen chemically it is known as the glycoprotein. These are the glycoprotein. glycoprotein molecules on the surface of the RBC. अगर ये RBC सेल है, RBC सेल के सरफेस पे जो होता है एंटीजन, एंटीजन असल में जो एंटीजन क्या होता है, एंटीजन इज if this is the RBC cell, RBC cell, this is the antigen. एंटीजन का काम ही होता है, antigen, it is formed because of the genotype, and here is the formation. If we name the this the blood is with blood group A, that means it the RBC cells bear they bear antigen A. Here this will maintain the antigen, this will maintain the antigen A. यहाँ पे antigen A develop होगा, antigen A. Therefore it gives us the all RBC cells would be that it gives us the blood group, it gives the blood group A. वहाँ पे क्या होगा, blood group A होगा. तो इसी तरह से अगर ये या मैंने बताया ये कंडीशन होगा, ये कंडीशन होगा, if there would be then here this condition, and this condition will also maintain the antigen, that antigen would be antigen A, and antigen A maintains in humans blood group A. That means all the RBC cells will have antigen A. Then in short there would be a blood, and their blood is called as blood group A. That in this way the genotype maintain the antigens. इसी तरह से similar way, if there is the another genotype here, this type of genotype is, if here would be that this type of genotype, it is for the antigen, it is for the antigen. What are the antigen? And once again I tell you that it is a molecule glycoprotein which is on the surface of the RBCs, and the असल में ये जो genotype है, they maintain the antigen, they design antigen, they meant for the antigen formation. Here this pair of genotype will maintain the antigen, here antigen B. That means it will automatically maintain the blood with all the RBC cells will on their surface would have the antigen B. But it will maintain the blood group, blood group B, blood group. इसी तरह से यहाँ पे मैं बात करता हूँ, if this also here is the possibility of this, here is also the possibility of this, it will also form still it will form the antigen B and antigen V automatically, they form the blood group. If RBC cells, RBC cells is with antigen B, all the RBC cells are with antigen B, there is the possibility of blood group B formation in humans. This is another genotype here, this is another genotype here. If there is a condition of this type, I will say here there will be condition this type of genotype, pair of genus, it will ये दोनों antigens बनाएंगे, it will form the both the antigen A, and also it forms the antigen B, it forms the antigen A, antigen B, antigen A भी बनाएंगे, antigen B, both 50-50% probability, half, and they will collectively form the some RBC cells would have antigen A, some would have antigen, some RBC cells with antigen B. वो 50% RBC cells with antigen A carrier है, other 50% RBC cells are with antigens B. The genotype actually is meant for the formation of antigens which tag RB cells with the antigen A, antigen B, and then automatically there would be differentiated blood groups. Here the blood group would be here is the probability basis, blood group A. Here the codominance, both are dominant here. They maintain both the blood groups, blood group A and blood group A and blood group B. That means blood group AB. यहाँ देखिए आप आगे चलते, तो यहाँ देखिए आप यहाँ पे if there is a genotype, अभी मैंने कहा if this pair small I and small I इस तरह का genotype, they are the recessive recessive genes. These recessive genes meant for no antigen. They don't meant for no antigen. They meant for not at all. They meant for no antigen. Here there is a blood group. There is blood group. That means blood group O. That means here the RBC cell is with no antigen. If there is no antigen, these RBC cells without any type of antigen, then there is no there is no with no antigens, then these RBC cells maintain the blood group. In human, they maintain the blood group O. Blood group O have no antigens as the glycoprotein molecules on the surface of RBC cells. If there is a genotype of the special case of this type, small I, recessive pair of gene, and there is no this genotype, they form no antigens to the RBCs, and there is the probability of blood group O formation. Now here is the it was about the introduction of human blood groups of 4 types. Now we make an inheritance of the blood groups. If we take the 2 parents, one is husband, other is the wife, they both carry different types of blood groups. Let us we have a cross, one of the cross. यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन मेरा होगा inheritance of blood, inheritance of blood group. If you take I will explain this thing with the help of an example. I will explain that if there is a husband and a wife. Husband has blood group. It has a blood group AB. Say it has a blood group. This husband has the blood group. Blood group. Husband has blood group here AB blood group, and wife has blood group A. अगर इन आप देखेंगे इसके लिए क्या जीनोटाइप होंगे, आपको पता है, आपको पता होगा कि इसके लिए क्या जीनोटाइप प्रोबेबिलिटी है. इससे पहले तभी तो मैंने पहले ही पढ़ाया. It is maintained, the blood group AB will surely maintained by this pair of factors, by this pair of allele, and there is a probable genotype here. Say there is the 2 types of genotype. Say we take this type of genotype here. There is also a capital I, but I take this type of pair of factors. Now I would like to have a cross between them, to have a cross. Husband and wife, they will share the genotype. There is a transmission of these blood groups. It is a inheritance character, and expression is seen in offspring. What would be the possibility of blood groups in the offspring? Let us see. We have a cross here. We will perform a cross here. Now you know that during the gamete, is a pair of factors, they will separate out against the law of segregation during the gamete formation. Here would be the alleles formation. Here you can say that it is here the male, and it is here the male. यहाँ पे ये genotype यहाँ पे दिखाता हूँ मैं. Here is the genotype here. I will take this type of genotype IA. Here is the IA. This type. Sorry. They will segregate out when there is a gamete formation. Here is the gamete form. During the gamete formation, it is the character of the male here, and there will be character of the female here. Here, what would be the probability here? I, yes, IA. अलग होगा ना. This pair of gene, they will separate out when there is a chromosome, single chromosome formation. During the each gamete contains a single chromosome here. I. Now here is the cross. We will perform the cross here. Here is the formation of genotype IA and IA. Here is the genotype IA I. Here is another cross IA and IB. Here is another cross IA, IB, sorry, IB I. Now what would be the on the basis of this, now अब हमें इससे लेना देना है, यहाँ पे क्या बने, ये बने offsprings. Here is the offsprings. Here will be the offsprings. Is with offsprings are with the different genotype. This genotype is for, अभी बताता हूँ मैं अभी क्या होंगे इनके offsprings क्या होंगे. Now हमें इनसे यहाँ लेना देना है. अब क्या होंगे, what is this? This is meant for this type of genotype is meant, it will maintain the blood group. Shabash, it will maintain the blood group shabash A obviously, and this will maintain the blood group. Another child क्या होगा यहाँ पे, another child with blood group this type. Here is also the blood group A here, तो यहाँ पे ये भी होगा. और ये what is the probability here now, I A I B. Here is the probability. Offspring is with the blood group. What is this pair of factor genotype? It will be the blood group. It is for the blood group. Here blood group A and B. And another, we will move ahead in this this type of IB. Here IB small I. It will maintain the blood group B. That means now the children, now their offspring is with the ratio. अगर हम total ratio blood group का निकालेंगे, blood group A का वो आएगा 2:, और AB का जो आएगा that is 2:1 ratio. हम वो obtain 2:1. It is the ratio of blood group A is to blood group AB, and then blood group, then ratio blood group B. There would be the genotypic ratio of the offspring. One offspring is two offsprings with blood group A, and one offspring with blood group AB, and another one offspring with blood group B. That means it is the inheritance of blood group. Blood group inheritance is a genetic character, and it is the inheritance trait. We obtained it from our parents during they have the mating, when there is a gamete flow, gamete recombination. Gametes contain the single chromosome contain a gene for the blood group. What the blood group here? Then here is the gamete recombination. Here gamete recombination, there is a pair of factors. These pair of factors define separate blood groups in offsprings. It is all about the inheritance of blood groups. I take an example to explain the blood group in human beings and the inheritance of blood groups in children. I hope you understand about the human blood groups. Thank you.